Isn't it funny when one's natural hair color just magically turns super dark? Friends, hello! Welcome back to Amethyst Craftworks. I'm Samantha, and how are you today? I hope you're doing good today. I hope you're having a fabulous February, because we are indeed in the second month of the year already. Time is flying by, let me tell you. But we are already into February, which means new month, new pick, new yarn colors, new projects, new etc., etc., etc. for the Movie Marquee. And so that is what we are here to do today. I've got a new movie pick to talk to you about. I've got some updates for January's doings and stuff and all that, you know. You know the drill here at this point with the Movie Marquee, but how are you? I hope you're doing well. I hope everything went well for you in January and is currently going well for you in February. I'm doing pretty good. I've got a fancy schmancy new hair color to go with my super short new haircut. I'm still figuring my way through it. I've sort of got almost like a pompadour kind of look at the moment. I haven't quite totally figured out what I want to do with my hair and how I want to do it. But I will say, cutting it short, I mean, it's quite short back here, even though we've got the mullet kind of look. Even though, you know, I still don't know quite what to do with it, I'm absolutely in love with it. I think it was the best decision I have made in a long time when it comes to my hair. And we may be sticking with the darker teal. We'll see. But that's not the subject of the video. The subject of the video is the Movie Marquee. So before we move on to February's pick for this month's pick, let's chit-chat first about January's pick. I am endeavoring this year to make hat and cowl, hat and scarf sets to donate. I had a few ideas for donations for my own research and my own findings on the interwebs, you know, looking for charities and talking to my friends and finding places that would take my handmade goods. But I also had Randy, reach out to me with some suggestions and links and things for the VA for donations as well. So I'm keeping all this in mind. Like, I'm kind of running a list, a mental note list in my head of all these places where I can donate these things to, because my project is indeed making hat and cowl and hat and scarf and wintry sets and whatnot. Now, this set is the one that I showed you already. I don't even know. Let's just set it there for now. So this set is what I made. It's upside down. Yes. And backwards. Was it? No, it was right way around. Yes, okay, there we go. We've also got some fuzz on it. But this was made for January's movie pick, which was Heather's pick. There's a matching hat as well. And it was for, over there, Follow That Bird. Hopefully you can see the color inspiration here in the hat and the cowl for Follow That Bird. But this is kind of what I'm doing for the Movie Marquee. I'm taking the movie inspiration, the color inspiration, and then making donation sets that will go off to, hopefully, fingers crossed, they go off to somewhere that can put them to good use. The charity that I'm thinking of donating the most to is called Knit Hope. They're linked down below in case you're curious what they're about, you know, all that stuff. They're based here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, which is the city and state that I live in, and they accept crocheted and also knit hat and cowl, hat and scarf sets, and so on. So this is the first set that I finished for Follow That Bird, which is, should be up there so you can compare and contrast. Then I've got also in the colors for Follow That Bird. Now, wait a minute. Let me say this first. So the pattern for the hat is from Happy Berry. I just did some ribbing on it. The pattern for the neck warmer for the cowl is from Heather the Crochet Witch. Hey girl, who was also part of this project along with me and Bella from Bella's Crochet Gifts. Also, hey girl. So I think I just sort of jumped right into things here and forgot to say my usual spiel, So it's with us, me, Heather, and Bella. Each one of us is picking a movie every month, and then we're basing projects on that movie's poster, colors, inspo, all that good stuff from the poster. So the patterns, I will say, are going to be linked down below. I'm going to link them as we go here so I don't forget and don't have a million links to show you and so on, right? So those two first. And then I made a set again with the same colors for Follow That Bird. This is, there we go. Now you can see it. This is a ribbed beanie, I think it was called. Maybe. It's from Fiber Spider. And again, I'll put a link to it down below. This is the most squishy hat that I have ever made. It feels so good, and it soft and plush and bouncy and indeed very squishy. It's delightful. So I made this to go with a scarf this time. Oh, now this scarf, I can't really show it all to you because here's one end. I'm stretching it all out here, and it's longer than my wingspan, which means this is 6 foot plus in length. I am 6 foot tall. This is taller than me because I can't stretch my arms out completely with it, right? Or I stretch my arms out and it's not completely unfurled. Almost if I really stretch. So it's probably 6 foot and a couple inches long. The Knit Hope requirements or suggestions for scarves suggested a scarf that was at least 5 inches wide, and I think this is 6 inches or so, 6.5, I'm not really sure. And then to make it 50 inches long. Well, 50 inches is a good length, I would say, maybe an average length. I feel like that's kind of a small, short scarf. And since I've got the yarn and I'm trying to use it up, I decided to just sort of freehand a kind of random stripy pattern with ribbing along the edges on the outside. There, you can kind of see it. The yellow, man, my camera really blows the yellow out, but the top and bottom are the back and front post crochet, double crochets, just like this hat. So I thought they sort of go together, and of course the colors are for the movie poster and yada yada. So for each month, at least one set is going to be made in the colors for the movie's poster. But in January, I made 2 sets. And I also said in my first episode for 2025 for the Movie Marquee that I would add neutral colors, so gray, brown, black, white, cream, etc., to the color palette if it needed it to kind of help pull it together. January's color pick though, or movie pick though, had such lovely colors that I did not even need to do that. So these are just completely in the yarns that I selected for January. It's also very stretchy. This is for a big head. This fits my head fairly well. And I think this pattern is one of my new favorites. It does gobble up some yarn, I will say. But that's not necessarily a bad thing when you're trying to use up a lot of yarn, right? So we've got those two sets and the bags. The bags, they're all labeled and stuff, so I know what the heck they are and so on and so forth. Let's maybe put those back. And then I've got one more. This set is not in colors for the movie. I did my one required set for Follow That Bird. And then I decided I've got a whole bunch of scraps of browns. Stay. Okay. So I've got a whole bunch of scraps of browns, like shades of brown, khaki, some like off-white cream colors. And so I just made a completely neutral colored set with some stripes in the middle there and then khaki. And again, this is the Happy Berry Crochet largest adult size hat. So there's that one with just some front and back post ribbing there on the bottom. I'm trying to hold this. There we go. So there's some ribbing along the bottom, which I like doing that. I feel like it kind of pulls it in a little bit better and so on. Anyway, I then made a scarf. And again, the colors match the hat. So let's fold it up here in half so you can see. The bottom edge of the scarf matches the stripes, although it's upside down, right? Yeah, it's upside down. It's fine, okay? It's fine. But the colors are all the same. It matches. And this stitch is like the mini puff stitch. I think the moss puff stitch. I will link you to the tutorial that I used down below. Again, it was Fiber Spider. Fiber Spider is giving me all the inspiration and all the tutorials for stitch patterns and hats and scarves and all that good stuff. But this is kind of, it almost looks like a basket weave, especially in this khaki. And if you will remember, if you have been here a while, then you know that I am not fond at all of puff stitches. Puff stitches, popcorn stitches, I just don't, bobble stitches. I'm just not a huge fan of them. But this was one just so easy, and Fiber Spider makes it look super easy, and it was super easy because I did it. This is a big old scarf too. This one is never gonna ever stretch out. It's like 7 foot long at this, from end to end. This one's a big one, right? So I did a lot of puff stitches. So it was, of course, it was easy, and it made a nice texture, but two, I just kind of wanted to challenge myself, right? Like, it's a puff stitch, but it's not like 8 yarn overs and then pull through puff stitch. It was a super small puff. And so it didn't immediately offend my sensibilities. And so I decided I'd give it a try. And I love the way it turned out. It turned out nice and like squishy and puffy. Textured, the color, the stripes on the ends, on both ends, look quite nice. And I thought it kind of gave some interest to what might otherwise be some sort of boring colors, right? There's no other colors in here really to add contrast. It's just shades of brown and like some cream, some ivory, some off-white, So I thought it might give some extra interest to what might otherwise be a just plain neutral brown scarf. So those were the 3 sets. I did 3 sets, three sets of hat and cowl, hat and scarf, etc. sets for donations for January. So now let's move on to February's pick. We're going to take a moment here to hydrate. You take a moment to hydrate too. If you've got a water bottle, a tumbler, a whatever, take a sip. I've got some good old ice water in there today. No caffeine. I've had enough caffeine for the day, right? So you hydrate, I have hydrated. And we are going to move on to February's pick, which was Bella's pick. Did I mention Follow That Bird was Heather? If I didn't, it was. And February's pick is Bella's. Now I have to move some things around here. There we go. I'm sorry, forgive me. I have to grab my project bag because we are going to talk about the movie pick for February and the colors of yarn that I have decided to pull from it. So, Bella's pick for February was, drumroll, dun da da da, Alice in Wonderland. Now, I might be a fan of Alice in Wonderland. This might be Alice and the Cheshire Cat and the mushrooms and White Rabbit's here somewhere. Oh, here he is, down here. There's White Rabbit. I might be a fan of Alice in Wonderland. I might also be a fan of Tim Burton. I might also be a fan of the absolutely delicious Johnny Depp. This may be a movie that could have easily been in my own set of movie picks, but it wasn't. It was Bella's pick, and it is her pick for February, which just so happens to be my birth month. Even we are a Pisces, in case you may have forgotten, and I am very pleased with February's my birth month's pick. Right. It's kind of difficult, maybe, to forget that I am a February baby, considering my channel name is Amethyst Craftworks, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, so that movie's poster is the poster that we are going with. I'm pretty sure there are other versions of the poster that feature Helena Bonham Carter, etc., etc. We're going with the one that Bella picked herself that I am the biggest fan of, which is just the one that has Mr. Johnny Depp on it. And so we are picking mostly colors just from the Mad Hatter himself. And so let's go over those, shall we? Let's see. The first color I'm going to pull out of my bag of tricks here is a pink. This is a big twist value in pink carnation. No. Reading it upside down. Cosmetic pink. Oh boy. Regardless, it's pink. It matches the, sash on his hat that's, flowing behind him. So we've got carnation pink with a popped ball band. It's fine. It is what it is. Is partially used skein. All of the yarns that are in here are partially used because that's what we're endeavoring to do. Use up scraps, use up partial skeins, so on and so forth, right? The next color. This is a Impeccable from Loops and Threads. Where's your color name? Deep Forest. Deep Forest. This is... It's kind of reading correctly. I will say it's much more olive in person. I guess maybe back here is sort of more correct for what the color is. It's kind of a more olive green. I thought it sort of picked up the olive green that's in his jacket and his pants and so on, right? So we've got Deep Forest going in for February. And then I've got another shade of green. This one is also a big twist. And it is, can I find, oh, this one is forest green. So we have Deep Forest and then forest green. This one's more of a Kelly green, a brighter, almost unnatural green color of green, but I liked it, and again, I thought it pulled from the greens. There's also a lot of green in the grass, which is very unnaturally green, and so, even though we're trying to pull colors from Johnny Depp, this green features quite heavily in the poster, so this is going in as well. And then we've got a purple. This one I don't even need to look at. I know this is a Red Heart Super Saver, which means this is Amethyst. This is my ideal purple. This bright but rich, almost neon purple, but it's not like a magenta and it's not like a lavender. It is purple. This is my absolute favorite shade of purple when it comes to like acrylic yarns. It's got fuzz and stuff on it anyway. This is absolutely my favorite shade of purple, my favorite make of purple. So Amethyst from Red Heart Super Saver is going in because his coat, it's like flipped up, on the bottom corner. This is the purple that's like the satiny lining of his coat, so going in. And then we've got one more color. Ta-da! It is orange. I had to pull orange from his ridiculous hair, right? This is also a Impeccable from Loops and Threads. What is your color name? Orange Crush. Orange Crush. It is very bright. There we go. My camera and my light are going to blow it out. It's not quite neon, but it's pretty dang close to neon. And so these are the colors that I have selected. I might have pulled a crochet hook out of my little coffin of crochet hooks there. Anyway, these are the colors that we are working with for this month. I thought it was kind of an interesting mix. You guys know purple and then the green, those are my colors. With orange is also like Halloween, screams Halloween all day long. So I made the executive decision to add the pink in to just like throw a wrench in my own like my own plans, right? To kind of force myself to use colors outside of my comfort zone. Because this pink, I bought this to make the star for the Walk of Fame for 2023's Movie Marquee cardigan. And then I haven't really used much of it since. I think I used it in 1 month in 2024's. I think I used it in October's for the stand for the section in my blanket for last year. But I bought it. I used like a very tiny little bit of it. So we're putting it in here. And I think you will very likely see some stripy hat and scarf and hat and cowl and whatever sets, like this, of course, that seems to be the easiest way to kind of incorporate all those colors in, but who knows? We're only in the second month. I could do something crazy and ridiculous with these yarns, and current me has no idea, so we'll see about that. But yes, I don't have anything worked up just yet with these yarns, and in fact, here it is. Hold on. Put them back in here so I don't lose track of them. But I haven't made anything yet with these just yet. I thought I'd show them to you first and then I'd get to work on at least one set. And I could combine them as well, thinking about these colors and thinking about, making sets for other people that may not have my same color preferences, or they may not want like a neon green and pink like hat to wear. I could split the colors up. I could do like the greens and the purple in like one set, and then orange and pink in another, add some brown, add some khaki, add some white, try to make them more palatable to the general public. That's not the word I'm trying to think of, but I think you get what I mean, right? So I could split them up. I might not. We'll see. But that's the Movie Marquee and my good old Movie Marquee project bag. That is what we are doing and what we have done so far for the Movie Marquee. Thank you very much for joining. I hope you like the colors I picked for February. Are you as well as excited as I am about Alice in Wonderland for February? Good movie, good director, good cast. Come on. And Alice in Wonderland as a whole is, I've worn this hoodie I don't know how many times here on this channel because I love it, and the mushrooms, all that fun stuff. I love that. So Alice in Wonderland, A plus pick for me. And I hope it is for you too. I hope you like the colors in the poster. What are you working on this month? Are you doing donations like I am? Are you making hat and cowl sets? Are you making blankets? Are you making one blanket? Are you doing a cardigan? Leave me a comment and let me know. And while you're down there, subscribe if you haven't already. Leave me a like if you like the Movie Marquee. And I think, now that I have babbled until I'm out of breath, I will just catch you next time. Take care. Goodbye.